All right, so most likely if you're watching this video, you've decided that you want a Winix. You've probably heard that they make great air filters. You've probably heard that certain ones have an amazing carbon pellet filter. And for the price, you get a lot with these filters. So today we're gonna be comparing the Winix 5500/2 and the Winix AM90. Both of these are closely related and they do similar things, but there is some differences. So without me getting out a smoke machine like some people do, or coming along and measuring the decibels of each fan, what I can tell you is that it really depends on what you're after. So depending on if these are on discount or not, typically the AM90 is going to be a little bit more affordable from what I've seen. And then the 5500 is going to cost a little bit more, but it's kind of considered the premium option of the two. So I like this because cosmetically it looks really nice. And this was the first one I tested. Now the 5500, I'm not a huge fan of the look or the black, but after testing both of these out, I can see why so many people go with the 5500. So first off, you take this off here, what you're gonna see, the pre-filter, and then you'll see that it has a carbon pellet filter in it. You can hear them shaking around. So there's actual carbon pellets in here, and this can actually be taken out and be washed as well. So you can get more mileage out of it. So that's one thing that makes it unique compared to the AM90 and a lot of other air purifiers in its price range, because there's really not that many that have the actual pellets, and without spending upwards of $1,000 on an air purifier. If you're not familiar with the differences, I'm going to show you, but the pellets that are in these kind of hexagon little shapes here are actually going to soak up VOCs and like smells in your home or your shop or wherever you're using it a lot better than just the painted on carbon. Okay, and so for the Winix AM90, so what you're gonna see is the same kind of HEPA filter, but what it has is it's like a painted on carbon onto the foam. Although this filter is in a lot of ways very similar to the other ones, and it works great, this kind of carbon filter is not going to suck up the smells the same way that the 5500 is. Regardless, if you're just looking for a good air purifier and it's kind of based on price, you're probably going to be happy with either of these because they both do a really good job filtering the air. But this one is going to suck up the smells much better, and it's one of the reasons a lot of people like it. I'll give you some close-up footage showing all the buttons and stuff on them, but they're quite similar. Here we have the on and off, we have the mode, there's auto, and then there's like a nighttime sleep mode, so it's not gonna make really any noise. They both offer the plasma wave, and some people don't really like that or they don't wanna run it. So there's some suspicion around it creating ozone or something like that, but everything that I've seen is proving otherwise. So I don't really think it's a problem. It's just an added feature, but on both of them, you can just turn it off if you don't want to use it. And then there's multiple fan speeds on both, and with the top being the turbo, which is going to be the loudest and going to process the most air. And it's pretty much exactly the same. One of the differences, of course, is on the AM90 here. You could hook this up to your phone. There is a Wi-Fi button on it. But other than that, not really a whole lot of difference. This one has a controller, this one does not, but then again, this hooks up to your phone, so you kind of have one anyways. I think the next best thing to do is to just do a close-up, and you can kind of listen to them at their different fan speeds without having anything to actually gauge it. From what I can tell, the 5500 does process more air on the high end. So most likely it has a slightly more powerful fan. But that being said, at the end of the day, to me, there isn't a drastic difference between the two, besides one might be slightly more powerful and has the better filter, depending on what you need it for. If it's coming down to just being worried about, allergies or, pet hair and things like that, I think you could get away, no problem, be very happy with the cheaper model. But let's have a listen to both of them. Okay, so you can see all the buttons here. It's on fan speed 3. So you can see it's pretty quiet for the most part. And if we turn it up to turbo and you really want to process some air, so that is the 5500 versus the AM90. Like I said, I like the look of this better, but when it comes to odors and filtering them out, like for my needs and what I know a lot of people are attracted to this one for, having the carbon pellets, this to me is the superior unit. But if you're looking for something that does a really good job and then, you know, you don't want to spend too much, I think you'd be very happy with AM90 as well. But it just really depends on what your use case is. So if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. And if you are thinking of purchasing, I have a link down in the description. Okay, thanks for watching.